Hey everybody, welcome back to Little Boy Customs. Today we're going to work on finishing trimming up the cab, and then we're going to also show you how we square the cab up with the frame so it don't look like a goober mobile going down the road. So the best thing for us to do is just get started on trimming up the dash, and here's a little time lapse of that right there. So now that we've gotten that taken care of, now we can get this old cab bona fide with the frame so she looks right going down the road. And why that doesn't seem like it could be too important, I sure don't want to look like something like this car here and be going down the road all dog tracking down the road. Alright guys, now that we got the trim work all taken care of and we moved this old cab up about 2 inches. You may be wondering why we wanted to go 2 inches up. Well, let me just show you. First thing that we're going to do in order to make sure that the cab is square is to get our wheel placement with the front fender exactly how we want it. So I don't want to look like a goober going down the road with this wheel being too far forward or too far back inside this wheel well. So that's the first thing I do is I put my fender on. It's not attached to the cab. Otherwise that gap wouldn't be so bad. That's right here. But I use a set of jack stands, and then I use bungee cords and put the fender on. And when I get the fender the way where the wheel is in the wheel well the way I like it and everything, then I know that I have my cab moved forward far enough onto the frame. Now after I get the wheel the way I like it, that means the cab's far enough forward. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look for something on the frame that is the same on one side versus the other side. So something that they've done from the factory. In this instance here, we have a hole right here which was used for the body mount, and we have that exact same hole right there on the frame. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this hole and measure off the end of the cab here with a tape measure. Now once I've done that and I've got my measurement, then I'm going to do the exact same thing right behind me on the other side of this cab, and that will tell me that the cab is the same distance on both sides from the two different holes that should be square on the frame. That there would make the cab square going forward. The next thing I want to do is make sure that this cab is square across. So I need to find something that's on this frame that I can use my level with and make sure that the frame is square first. Now, this shop was here when I bought this place, so I'm not exactly sure how level the concrete was done, and well, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the big hump that's in the back of these Grand Marquis and Crown Vics, and I'm going to make sure that that's level because that's all part of the frame. I don't use the actual body panel that I left in here that holds the gas tank in because it could have been bent or dinged up or whatever while I was cutting it all apart. So what I use is the actual metal hump. And I'll bring you in here and show you how level that is real quick. Alright, now that you can get your peepers on there, you can see this just like I can. Zoom in even on it. That is pretty well level right there, so that means that the floor is not too crooked. So now that we know that this area right here is level, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to level the cab the exact same way. So what we need to do is we need to find a point on the cab that should have been level from the factory, and the best one that I can come up with is this lip that is right here where the rear window would have been at. So we put the level on it, and that's how we will determine if the cab is level this way. Bring it in here real quick let you look at this so you can see how level it is. That right there is pretty level. It's not exactly 100%, but it is pretty. It's close enough for all the girls I know. So I'm pretty lucky that the cab is level. So if by chance your cab is not going to be level across this way, what you're going to have to worry about is cutting more into this side right here, either on this side or that side, depending on which way the cab needs to tilt. Or it could just be hung up on the front A-pillars inside here. So you'll have to make sure that there's not any metal that's stuck on the car that's holding the cab up. That could be another place that it might be giving you trouble. All right, so the next thing that I want to make sure that's level on this truck, because I've gotten from passenger side to driver's side level, and I have the cab as far forward as I want. The next thing that I want to do is I want to make sure that the cab is level from front to back. I don't want this truck to have the Carolina squat. I don't want it to be raked going towards the front. I really want my truck to be level all the way across. I can't use this fender because the fender's not actually attached. So what I'm going to do is first I want to make sure that my frame is level back to front. So what I do is I use this door sill area that was on the car. Once I know that that's level, and if it's not level, I'll either jack up the rear end or jack up the front end, whatever it takes to make it level. Then once I know that that's level, then I use the door sill that was on the truck, and I put a level on it and make sure that that's level as well. If by chance that I needed to raise up the rear end, then what I would do is first, and I'll bring you in here so you can see it. I would spot weld a piece of metal on the front. That's going to keep the cab from moving around this way. I'm not so worried about it moving up and down. What I don't want it to do is move left and right or any of that. So I weld two tabs, one to the car, one to the truck cab on both sides, and then that will keep this from moving forwards or backwards. From there, I would use a jack. Let's say that the rear end was too low. I would use a jack this up, get it to the right height that I want it, and then I would leave a jack underneath it and weld a tab onto the back of it that holds the cab in place at that location. If by chance your cab's too high in the back, then what you're going to need to do is cut some of that area out right there. And then in this instance here, if this cab was too tall in the back and needed to go down, that brace that runs right along right there, I'd have to cut some of that out as well, because that brace is actually setting on top of the hump for the drive shaft in the floorboard of the car. Luckily we don't have that issue. Everything's worked out so far, so that's where we're at. All right, now that we have our cab square with our frame and our floorboard and firewall of the car, the next step is going to be welding it in. And so I'm not going to weld in this video here. That'll be the next video, is actually welding and making all the panels for this truck. But what I do weld with is a 14 gauge cold roll steel. I buy flat sheets of it, and then I make my own patterns, use a plasma torch, cut out the pattern after I transfer it off of cardboard or whatever you want to use, and then I lay it in here and start welding it all together. That will attach the cab to the floorboard of the car, and from there you just build off of that. All right guys, that'll do it for this episode here. I got a personal goal and I need y'all's help to meet that. What I'm wanting to do is have 1,000 subscribers by this June 2021. So if you haven't subscribed, please consider do so. If you have subscribed, thank you. Please consider sharing our videos and trying to get our videos out there a little bit more. Share it with your friends that may be into automotive stuff that might find some of this interesting or whatever. And I appreciate that. So if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. If you have comments, have questions, leave them down there below. And that'll do it for this video here. As always, thanks for watching. Be safe out there.